Wrath of the Machine is Bungie's latest raid that is part of its new expansion Rise of Iron. I've been playing a lot of Destiny lately, as obvious if you're familiar with my channel and have been following me, trying to grind my light level high enough to start playing this raid. The raid was released on Friday, but I was out of town, so my group actually waited till yesterday for us to try our first attempt at running it, and we were able to get through the first couple of encounters pretty easily, and our average light level was probably around the low 360s. I was the lowest one at the time with a light level of 356, and then ending our experience yesterday through the first couple encounters at now at 360. So we're going to be continuing the progress through the raid this week, but I thought I would make a quick video just breaking down the first two encounters of Vosik, the Archpriest. So, the first encounter is actually the very start of the raid, the very opening of the raid. When you walk forward, he's going to spawn, and the one thing to keep in mind that's the theme through both of the encounters is he's always going to start with an overshield that's immune to normal fire. And we'll circle back to how to actually get that overshield done so that you can DPS him with your galleys. So at the very beginning of the raid, you're going to see 3 power stations on the ground, one to the left, one in the middle, and one to the right of the area, with torrents of energy located throughout the map. The goal is to charge these power stations to maximum energy by collecting 4 stacks of energy per person and slam dunking that energy output into each of those stations. These stations, when at capacity of energy, will provide you with these orbs that are used to damage Vosik's shield. Once his shield is down, you can then damage his health with normal means, aka shoot him with your galleys. The trick here isn't just the ad waves, but while you're charging your stations, these large yellow shanks will be there. Their whole purpose is to drain the power stations of energy, and it'll take you longer to actually charge them. So you should really kill those pretty easily and quickly. It only takes 2 galley shots, or if you have a high impact sniper rifle, just a few critical hits to its center of its face. What my team and I did was we split into 3 groups of 2. One person's responsibility was just to gather the energy stacks and then to put them into the output controllers, and then the other person was to control ad waves as well as to kill those shanks. So after a little bit of DPS time of running this rotation over and over again, Vosik will recover his shield each time, and then at a point when he's at lower, about 25% health or a little bit lower, he's going to flee into the raid, and that's what's the end of your first encounter with him and allow you to enter the raid. It's not going to take you very long to see him again, because Vosik is your next encounter after you do a little bit of jumping puzzles, aka jump from floating point to floating point, as well as going across some secret chests and Siva fragments. I'll probably make a video for those when I have them all collected throughout the raid, because right now we've had, I think, 3 chests and then 2 fragments. But those are probably also already on Reddit and YouTube if you're really curious right now to gather those while doing the raid. So your second encounter with Vosik is actually, it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with the first encounter, but this one's a lot of fun, and it's really not that much more complicated than your first encounter with them. Once it starts, you have an ad wave immediately, and as you start killing ads, the same type of orb will fall from the ceiling, and one will fall on the left, one will fall in the middle, and one will fall on the right. We ended up splitting up in the same groups, so I was on the left with Vanilla Gorilla, and we went to the left orb and stayed on the left, and so on and so forth, and as we did with his first encounter. So these orbs are used the exact same way as the first encounter to damage his shield, because he's immune to fire until his shield is gone, but you want to time these perfectly right. If all 3 orbs hit at or around the very close same time, it does a massive amount of damage to his shield, so it'll really greatly reduce the amount of orb waves in order to get him into a DPS phase. So once that happens, after a few seconds of hitting him with the orbs, a Shiva symbol is going to appear randomly on a TV screen above where he's standing. If you destroy that screen with enough time, it just goes on to the next orb phase, new ads come out, and then you just continue on. But if you miss the screen or don't destroy it fast enough, Vosik triggers a global insta-kill wave that can be avoided, but in order to avoid it, you have to run into one of the 4 rooms, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, and then shoot a shield that is lit up on the door frame. So 2 doors at a time are lit up. So what we found, though, I think only each room can be used once, so it's better to use those rooms outside after a DPS phase rather than in the middle of your 3 to 4 orb phases. So repeat the ad waves and orb volleys, and once his shield is down, have a Titan pop a Weapons of Light bubble in the center people gather there and either snipe or galley him over and over again until his shield comes back. And when it does, you're going to have the same room clear insta-kill wave that you have if you miss shooting the Siva symbol on the TV screen. And like I said, in order to avoid that, there's going to be 2 rooms that are lit up, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. They switch randomly. Sometimes they're both on the left, sometimes they're one's on the left, one's on the right. But you, as a team, run into that room, shoot the light on the door frame, and it'll create a shield protecting you from that insta-kill wave. So just keep doing that over and over again. Once you have that down, I think it took our group only 3 DPS rotations to kill him. But we also, you know, it was, I think, our 3rd time actually running. We only had wiped a couple times. So we did have some mistakes. And on our 3rd rotation, the final one that killed him, we actually had a teammate down. So we were only DPSing with 5 people. So it's really doable, and it's really easy as long as you have a coordinated group. Those were the first 2 encounters that I've done so far. Overall, I think they were not super difficult, but they were also a lot of fun. There's enough tactic required in order for a fire team to have to actually work together to complete it, but it doesn't feel like an impossible task that you're punished greatly for if someone messes up. Like I said, we had a person that didn't make it to the room in time for the room clearing phase, so he was dead while we were DPSing him, and we still were able to do enough damage to kill him in 3 waves. So like I said, it's not super punishing. It's a lot of fun, but it's also not it's just not that difficult to figure out. We are still going through the raid, like I said, so this is just a quick glimpse into some of the mechanics that we found. We're doing the raid blind, so let me know if there's alternatives of that other people are doing, or even maybe they were doing it the same way and they've figured out a more efficient way. We're really curious to try some different tactics, but this is what we found that has worked so far. And we're currently on the Death Zamboni. We figured out, we played it enough to figure out the strategy that we're going to be using, but we didn't have enough time as a group to complete that encounter, so hopefully we're going to be continuing tonight. So what are you guys thinking of the raid? Let me know in the comments. I hope this video helped a little if you're curious about the mechanics so far or just wanted to see what the new raid was all about. But as always, thanks for checking out this video, and I hope your day is beer and Skittles.